Welcome back. It's July 3rd, 2011, the day before this country's, air quotes, birthday. And
do you buy into that story?
What, the birthday of this country?
No, the Independence Day. I've seen some pretty impressive cases for the fact that we never lost independence from the Queen. And
very true.
Yeah, you want to talk about that for a moment, or?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob. No, go right ahead, dude. There is no one topic today. Today is all about massive amounts of information for everybody. So go ahead.
I'm going to be covering on my show a little bit tomorrow, and I am going to do a 4th of July show of some sort. So definitely tune in. I'm going to be live. Forget fireworks. You got the Bob Tuscan Show.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
Going live.
Right. That's right. The great Bill O'Reilly. Anyways, it's interesting. I don't know that we've ever lost ever gained independence. And the fact of the matter is we're all slaves. Now, the independence that we're celebrating from 1776 was perhaps a staged false flag, I guess, is one way of putting it, event where the illusion of separation occurred. But still, the same people, as we've seen, in modern history, were pulling the strings. Now, I don't know all the details. I'm still doing research on it. I think the anti-terrorists did a good job talking about that at some point, and a few others have gone more in depth in the particulars. But I don't know. It's something to consider. All this patriotic mumbo-jumbo, at the end of the day, the only thing I'm patriotic to is natural law and loving and helping my community.
It's simply an allegiance to something that means nothing to you. Only the people around you actually mean something.
Well, we never really, honestly, we don't have freedom. People think we have freedom, but we do not.
We make false allegiances to symbols and these things, and we don't even make try to make the time to ally ourselves with our fellow man.
At all.
At all.
Popeye's going to be barbecuing a nice big steak.
No, I wish I could barbecue a nice big steak, but
well, it'll be grass-fed, right?
Yeah, because where I live, I have access to that. I mean, there are a couple places, but no.
Shut up! You're just lazy, dude. You live in South Florida, you can get anything you want.
When I go to eat steak, I do eat good steak. I eat stuff it was grass-fed and it was organic and stuff. But honestly, nothing is truly organic anymore. Now the alfalfa that they're going to be feeding to these quote-unquote organically fed animals is GMO alfalfa. The guy that owns Whole Foods sold out to Monsanto. Now it's okay. So
when is Monsanto going to unleash their army? I mean, it's not like they have that thing for nothing.
They got an army?
They already have unleashed their army. It's a hidden army. It's a GMO army.
Well, I mean, I could be mistaken, but I mean, I believe watching a Monsanto documentary where they said that Monsanto literally pays mercenary soldiers, if you will, and that the amount of people that they pay to do this for them, I mean, I guess in any case scenario, is almost equal to the Swiss Guard of the Vatican.
I believe it. They probably contract Blackwater and whatnot, and
Triple Canopy and the rest of them.
They got to have those private security forces to go kill those, pesky farmers that want to have heirloom seeds and are committing suicide. And
basically hired bullies.
It's scary stuff.
It shows how soulless, the guys are that are willing to do it. Well, I'm doing it for the right reasons. I need a job. So your job is to kill innocent people and advance the goals of a one world government, which will eventually kill you and your whole family and everybody you love. Mm-hmm. Good job.
Popeye, they're just mercenaries to the price system. That's all it is. They're just regulating the debt-based, slavery-based, scarcity-based system, collectively called the price system, which is the means in which they use to control us. And it's that simple. And at the end of the day, Monsanto is just the symptom. Until we revolutionize our entire planet and getting ourselves off of the dependency of the scarcity-based control, we're going to see people like Monsanto and other bullies out there go around and rape and pillage. It's as simple as that.
Oh, yeah. And Ham actually just brought up a really good point in the chat. He said organic foods now with more TSA. So, and, you know, you're not too far off, Ham, because I guarantee you that, you know, they're going to pull something, a shooting or something, a bombing, and they're already calling for it. They want to do it. You're not going to be able to go into Whole Foods to get food without getting searched. I mean, as it is right now, you go down here in South Florida, and there are some areas where I understand it's warranted. But anywhere you go now, even an affluent area, there's always an off-duty cop that the store pays cash. Now, meaning they're still in their cop car, they have their uniform and their gun because they are a police officer in the state of Florida. So they can do that. But they're not on duty for whatever city they happen to be they work for. It just so happens that they're allowed to work, you know, off duty for money for these companies as a police officer. Okay? And they still have arrest powers and everything else. And they kind of do security. And you go to Publix or any of the food stores down here, and there's always at least one cop sitting out front of the food store now. So it's almost like they're getting you used to the fact that eventually you're going to have a cop or security and TSA groping you wherever you go. And I won't stand for it. I'm going to tell you right now, my wife gets groped by one of these dirtbag TSA security dweebs. I am going to knock his teeth right down the back of his goddamn throat, right in front of all his superiors and everybody standing there. And I won't think twice about doing it. You touch my wife, you touch me, I will break your face. And that's the problem. That's why I don't fly right now.
I was going to say, I'm so glad you're not flying.
Well, that's why I don't fly, because in order to not get arrested,
jeez, this guy's violent. This guy Popeye, he's a terrorist, man. I'm
a terrorist because I refuse to let my wife get groped by a stranger.
That's terrorism 101, man. Only terrorists.
She's not your property.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, Ham. Ham said, if you do, you have my support, and I'll help bond you out. Thank you, Ham. I'll call Dog the white trash bounty hunter up.
In a way, we do need to protest the TSA. You know, we got to.
Well, we need to do something, dude. Mm-hmm. This is getting out of control. A 95-year-old woman dying from cancer, going home to die, and they detain her for an hour and strip search her because she wears an adult diaper. This is outrageous. Right. This is just outrageous. They treat, or a couple weeks before, they treat a mentally retarded guy who's 29, but he's got the intellect of like a 2-year-old, and they treat him like a terrorist and take away his toy plastic.
He had a plastic hammer. He had a plastic hammer, Popeye.
Yeah, and the TSA agents, his whole thing was, well, he tapped it against the wall and said, see, it's solid. It could be used as a weapon.
Hard. Never mind the fact that you can.
He let him take a baseball on board. But
never mind the fact that he had a baseball. That you have Chili's to go or whatever little trendy restaurant they got in all these airports now with glass, with all sorts of knives that you can use. Oh, never mind that. TSA is an illusion. Protect yourselves from the true tyranny. Boycott TSA. Boycott these criminals.
When do we get to the point that that we are literally handcuffed to our seats on an airplane for our safety? You know what I mean? When do we get to the point that we can't buy mass amounts of organic food because we're not allowed to have seeds to create gardens? It's these questions, man, you know?
Only terrorist conspiracy theorists would want to grow an organic garden. And as we talked about last week, our friend from Skeptical Humanities or whatnot, that's why he's so overweight. It's because he believes that, it's a conspiracy to eat healthy. So, listen, Will, you're absolutely right.
Conspiracy theories.
There you go.
Concerning the attacks of September the 11th. Malicious lies that attempt to shift the blame.
Conspiracy theories.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bush.
He's
Organic
right.
eaters.
He's talking about himself. He's talking about their malicious conspiracy theory trying to, direct the blame away from the guilty people onto others. He's absolutely 100% correct. Thanks for outing yourself, George. Dick. Guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to pay some break. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to break.
Many taking a nap. In fact, they would fake an attack to make way for the Patriot Act.